With only weeks remaining in our giveaway Quattro campaign, we are in a hurry with this build. In this episode, we are arriving here at our secret specialist partner's place, but before that, we have several things to take care of. So as you have seen in the previous episode, the Quattro is back from the paint shop. Our 3,000 euro car has received the 5,000 euro paint shop, and it looks absolutely immaculate. But as you know, Grumblo is all about the technical side of things, so we need to get this car on the road and driving as well as possible. The first thing that I have bought for this car since the bodywork is the new larger intercooler. We have a tube and fin intercooler that is lighter and much more efficient than the old boat anchor one. That was probably some Chinese supermarket crap, and we decided to make the change, but with that comes some bumper finishing issues. So our B4 S2 style bumper is made of fiberglass. It's a really high quality fiberglass item, but it needed some modifications to accommodate the boost lines and the new bigger intercooler. I started with those, but the real challenge with this bumper are the ends on both sides that meet the arches on the body line. This bumper, as I said, is meant for a newer model that has wider fenders from the factory, so I needed somebody who is a specialist in restoration projects and bodywork, so I called my good friend Nenitoni, and he is back at the channel. He immediately formulated the plan how to reshape completely different end shapes to the bumper by removing some material and laminating new fiberglass and resin to create new material that can then be grinded by the paint shop for that perfect finishing touch. And now with his work, the lines of the bumper match the rear bumpers and fit perfectly to our fenders. While we were at the bodywork subject, we also installed the genuine aero catches for the bonnet, and I think these made a perfect little touch away from that cheap racing look to a little bit more prestigious but still performance oriented looks. So when the bumper deal was sorted, we had to figure out the actual turbo installation. We had already sourced the exhaust manifold that fit the turbo and places it in the engine bay in a somewhat logical position. We are still a little bit tight with the air filter tubing, but the boost pipes on the high pressure side, those needed to be fabricated, but the project was quite clear for my dad, who is quite handy with pipework. So he made some modification to the intake manifold side of the intercooler piping, and on the hot side everything was made completely from scratch and over the weekend and evenings, so that we could be here on time at our partner's place, because this is where the actual magic starts to happen to take the potential out of this turbo kit and the engine overall. So after a long morning of packing the car up on the trailer and driving 3.5 hours, we arrived at our secret specialist friend's place, Terhon Paja, and he got to see the Audi for the first time, and we actually got to meet this mythical creature of an Audi guru for the first time ourselves as well. Approaching the place and looking at the yard, it was obvious that we were in the right place. I cannot wait for the result, and if you want to win this car, you better go to the Grumblo Shop and buy yourself any merch, because every euro you spend on your shoppings is one entry for the giveaway. The more you buy, the better your chances to win our Quattro for yourself.
Hello, my name is Terho, and this is Terhon Paja, my company that I've been running for 10 years now, and I'm the secret guy who knows stuff about Audi 80, Tube 89, and we are specializing in all kinds of Audi, Volkswagen stuff, more complex, mostly things that other people are not willing to do. So we do all kinds of engine overhauls and gearbox overhauls and this kind of stuff. I saw in my social media those Grumblo guys had advertisements running about this Audi 80 project, and of course I know a thing or two about these kind of cars, so I contacted Markus, and actually they needed quite a lot of technical expertise to get this project going, so here we are. So in the first episode Markus said that this was an ordinary winter beater car, but I would say that nowadays those are quite rare actually, so it's not easy to come by the Quattro version at least, and they're becoming more rare each year.
We are here at our technical partners Terhon Paja. They are taking our Type 89 Audi Quattro project into their gentle care. It's going to get the new engine management system, new wiring harness, new gearbox and a bunch of other little things, and it will be drivable after this. But Terho himself has this legendary Audi 90 Quattro with a 5-cylinder turbo engine that he will now present to you guys.
Okay, so this is my Audi 90 Quattro. The model year is 89, if I remember correctly, and originally it was with the 2-liter 20-valve 5-cylinder naturally aspirated engine model. It was my first serious build. Now it's kind of neglected here because all the other time-consuming things in life. But yeah, so it has 2.2-liter 20-valve 5-cylinder turbo engine. I swapped it long time ago because, of course, naturally aspirated is not an option. As I bought this engine, it was already equipped with the MTM hybrid turbocharger and the MTM software, and it is like that has been ever since, and it has worked really well. I've changed oils every summer and just driven. So there is around 300 horsepower, give or take, and it has been plenty for me. Yeah, then I have made some changes to the suspension geometry. As everybody who has driven this kind of car knows that they are quite understeering. So I decided to cut the top mounts from the chassis and move them quite a bit backwards to get some more caster angle. And then the handling improved significantly. Then there is KW coilovers and custom brake setup, which has been designed by me. Then there is rear torsion differential from Audi V8, and the center torsion differential has been modified with removing the pressure bearings and just installing shims there.
So just a few little things and then hard driving.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Fresh oil, maybe spark plugs, a little bit washing, and it would be ready to go, basically. But
it's a bit neglected, but it's still a cool car.
Yes. 20 years ago, if you wanted to have like a powerful 4-wheel drive car that wouldn't brake easily, Audi was one of the best, or at least most affordable option available here in Finland, because it has a very good engine, 4-wheel drive, and the car is basically the same as Audi S2, but just a little bit different chassis, the parts bolt on. So that's the reason why I chose that model. Now the Audi 80 is here, and we are starting to put it back together, so we need to get the gearbox done. Guys were a little bit surprised about the compatibility of different parts of different cars.
Terho told me today that pretty much all engines, all gearboxes fit together over decades of time span. The same goes for drive shafts and many other parts. So for example, I have learned that everything from our Audi would take a V8 engine straight in, same gearbox, everything would work. So for me, mind blown.
There's a little bit difficulty because the car has those so-called one-piece uprights which have the welded-on shock absorber mounts, but we want to change to the two-piece versions to accommodate those BC Racing coilovers, and it's a little bit difficult to find those right parts because they are only used in B3 sedan or coupe model, but not in B4 sedan or Avant. So there's quite a limited amount of those parts available nowadays because many of those cars are scrapped already. Fortunately, this is not the first and not the last time that we have some kind of technical challenges, so I'm sure that we can get a good result in the end. Maybe most challenging part of this project for us is the wiring and the ECU change. So we need to combine the A4 wiring harness to the Type 89 wiring harness to get all the functions working and the ECU working as it should. But this is something that we have done before. The benefits of the factory ECU are that we can get the more civilized operation across all kinds of operating conditions, better transient throttle response, etc. And we have full diagnostics, we have full logging capabilities, For this project, in my opinion, it made more sense to go with the factory ECU. So we have quite a busy few weeks ahead of us. So after guys pack their cameras and go, then we start, and we're looking forward to it.
For the next couple of weeks, the Audi is going to stay in Terho's good care, but we will pay him a visit as soon as the bumpers and door handles are out from the paint to come and install those so that the car is drivable as soon as technically everything is finished. So stay tuned for the next episode, and of course do not forget to go to the Grumblo Shop and buy any merch, because every euro you spend in your purchases is one entry for the giveaway sweepstakes, and the more you buy, the better your chances to win this car for yourself. Stay tuned for the next one.